raining today. Have you ever noticed how people let like situations like it raining affect their mood and affect their attitude and all those things? Yeah, I want to talk about that today.
Hello. You put a pretzel in your mouth?
Yeah.
And why is there not one in mine?
Yeah.
Just kidding, just kidding. Sorry. Alright. Should I tell her? Should I let him?
Alright, well, this is annoying. Funny that it's today's topic too. Kind of. Basically, I was at work, everything was fine, left for lunch, and while I was out on lunch, like letting the dog out, getting my food, I did eat my lunch. But as I was starting to approach to come back to the office, I started to feel a little, my stomach started to feel a little weird. So it's interesting because I rarely get like stomach sick. I don't remember, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, roughly, the same exact thing happened where I was at work, everything was fine. Then all of a sudden, during lunch / on my way back to work, I started to feel a little weird. And what ended up happening was I had some sort of stomach bug or some sort of food poisoning or something because I was in the toilet every like 30 minutes for about 7 hours straight. Thankfully, it was only about 7 hours long, but it was very, very rough. Felt like I went through war. So I don't feel quite as bad as that time, but obviously in case things go south, I'd rather have this bathroom here rather than the office bathroom there. I knew you'd understand. I have like an incredibly busy week, so I really don't have a ton of time to talk right now. So I'm only gonna take a minute, but I just wanted to talk about a very simple idea of, it seems that people let things happening outside of their control own their attitude and their happiness, I guess. So like, for example, like today it's raining outside. It's been rainy, gloomy the whole day. Most people, when it's rainy like that, they instantly just go into this funk and they say like, oh, it's raining today. Today's just gonna be a bad day. Which, I've never really understood, because how is the rain gonna own your happiness? It's out of your control. Like, why would you let something that you can't control own? Or maybe, for example, there's somebody that like you show up to work and they're maybe they're in a bad mood, or they're not happy about something, and so you let their attitude affect yours, and like you let their lack of happiness bring down your level of happiness. And I'm like, why would you let someone else and their circumstances control yours? Like, why would you, like, that makes no sense. And now you also might say, well, Pablo, maybe it's not that simple. Maybe there's some harder things going on. Maybe like a family member passed away, or even a pet passed away. That's tough. Or maybe, you lost your job, or something kind of more of extreme. And of course, like, maybe those things are going to mess with you, but it's only for a second. It's only for a time that this stuff is happening. If you really think about it, in the grand scheme of life, it's only for a short time. And I'm not saying to not grieve. I'm not saying to not be upset maybe a little bit. And obviously, emotions are emotions and you need to let them be emotions, but you can't let them own you all the time. Hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. I think what I'm really trying to get at here is that I see way too many people, they play the victim of their circumstances rather than being the owner of their circumstances. A little something on the lens there. Like, life and things are always gonna happen. Like, people are gonna be there and they're gonna jack things up and they're gonna talk and it's gonna rain and you're gonna get a flat tire. Like, things happen. And of course, like, I know you get that, but like, if you get a flat tire in the morning, it doesn't have to be a bad day. It can just be a bad moment. I believe that everything in life is won and lost inside of your head, and you have to win that game mentally. If your body and what you do, your attitude, your happiness, all these things are gonna follow if you win here first. And it's funny because, like, I hate getting sick. It's the worst thing ever. And maybe I'm not sick, but I definitely have an upset stomach right now and I don't feel great, but I'm not gonna let that own me today. Obviously, if my head ends up in the toilet bowl like a couple weeks ago, obviously I'm gonna let that happen and I'm gonna feel sick and be sick, but I'm not at that point yet. And even though I don't feel great right now, I'm still gonna edit a wedding film because we have a business to run and we have a client to get a film to. And so it's important that you don't let things own you. You need to own the things that you have going on in your life. Way too many people just play the victim instead of becoming the owner of their life. And I just, oh man. I really don't feel good right now, but I have a wedding film to edit. Let's get it, come on. So, I did it. I finished an entire wedding film in one day. Productive day.